Okay, guys, so we have something very interesting going on. It looks like we have a potential juror member speaking out. Obviously, this is not totally confirmed, but if it's who I think it is, this is the guy that was in the second row all the way to the right, that was sitting next to the guy who took copious notes. I think this is the Asian man that wore the face mask, but I'm not 100% sure. So I guess he put out a TikTok video. He still wants to remain anonymous, but I think it's interesting to hear from a member of the jury. What do you all think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Let's go ahead and look at it. So it's Seeking Infinite on TikTok. It says, my thoughts on the trial. Leave comments if you have any questions about it. So let's listen to what he has to say.
So today was my last day of being a juror on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. And I wish to remain anonymous, but I thought I'd give some insight on my thoughts about the trial. I don't follow pop culture too much, so I haven't really been a fan of Johnny Depp or Amber Heard, so I feel I was able to be pretty unbiased about the whole thing. But from the very beginning, when Amber Heard was testifying, everything just seemed so off with how she kept making eye contact with me, and it made me extremely uncomfortable to where I would no longer look over at her when she was giving her answers. I would just listen intently, and everything she was saying came off like bullshit. And I wasn't following anything on TikTok during the whole trial, and I was scrolling through after the trial, and blows my mind on how every single person seemed to be commenting on how weird it was. So
Yeah.
Good news for Johnny Depp. That was my gut feeling after all the information in the trial. But Amber Heard, what a crazy woman. So today was my last day of being...
Exactly. What a crazy
I never
woman.
understood why people go...
So
Okay,
today
so
was my last day of being
let's look at the comments
a juror
here.
on the Amber...
I never understood...
No.
Death! Yes, my mortal companion?
What the heck is that?
You gotta pick up...
This has worked themselves to death. Yeah, I don't label...
Why is this happening? I hate TikTok. I don't know how it
So
works.
today
But
was my
anyways,
last day of being a juror
all right,
on
how
the
do I,
Amber
like...
Heard Johnny Depp trial. And I wish to remain...
All right, so let's turn off the sound. It says, started an Instagram where I'll post my thoughts and pictures. I'm going to keep it spiritual and mindfulness based. So it will be seeking_infinite01. I guess if people want to follow this person, this juror, or potential juror on Instagram, how do you feel about Elaine going on TV, on live TV, basically accusing all you jurors of not following the rules? Let's see if he replied. She seemed to just be pulling stories out of the air at that point. Yes, exactly. That is a very good point. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. He says the world is a better place with curiosity and being speculative. Being speculative about information is one of the best things about science. Very good point. I thought that was an interesting answer. You're juror number 7, aren't you? I don't think he responded to that. But he says, I didn't realize he made all those weird faces until after seeing a video, but he was definitely an interesting person. Dr. Spiegel! Dr. Spiegel! Oh my goodness. This person asks, how did you feel with the pledge versus donated? 100% could not admit she was wrong in anything. That is what sealed it for me. Camille did a great job. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I thought that was very interesting. Why 10 mil and not 50? Unrealistic amount, and not all the jurors agreed on amounts, had found a happy medium. Well, I think that that's what a lot of us were saying, as far as like the numbers and why Amber got 2 million. You know, it says, interesting. I was wondering if the jurors would be able to pick up on her without TikTok analysis. LOL, good work. He says 100%. Are you a Johnny Depp fan now? I don't know if you replied to that. Let's see if there's any other replies here. Have you seen Elaine Bredhoff's interviews about the trial? He says, I have not. I'll look it up soon. My head is already about to explode from this trial. Gonna need a bit of a break. Haha. Yes, I would also. 6 weeks, guys. 6 weeks. Just absolutely wild. Were all the jurors on Johnny's side, or did you guys have to find a compromise? He says found a compromise. I think a lot of people figured that there might have been one holdout, you know, maybe one of the women. Were you surprised to see how much everything blew up on social media over the course of the trial? He says, friends and family had told me, but I stayed off social media as I don't really use it much anyways, and I wanted to be a fair juror. Very interesting, guys. Okay, let's see. This person says, were you paid? In Spain, we make the jurors stay in hotels until the trial's over and they can't go to work. He says, I have a great employer who paid the entire time. Well, there you go, guys. There you go. Have a good employer. Can you give any insight as to why you found in Amber's favor on one statement? P.S. Thank you. It was a compromise. The jury has to be unanimous. I was all in favor of Depp 100%. Based... That's amazing. Did the jury see the bruise kit in the picture where Johnny has ice cream all over his lap? He says, I did not notice that. So that's something that's really interesting. You know, when we're watching this stuff from the outside and you're not a member of the jury, like you're able to go on social media, you're able to kind of review things. And there are so many people out there that are like looking at little things, finding these things and pointing it out. It's sort of like a crowdsourcing, you know, information analysis, I guess, or OSINT, whatever you want to call it. I think that's interesting. Okay, here's a good question. Did you and the jury think Johnny physically abused her at all? They said, yes, we did, but didn't believe he was the instigator and not to the extent that she abused him. Very, very interesting. I think that that is a good point. Cam Fitz says, was it easy for everyone in the jury to come to that decision, or did it take some convincing? LOL. It took convincing of one juror. I wonder which juror that was. I have an idea, but I don't want to say. I think it was one of the ladies. Not going to say which one. Just one question. Why giving her that win? Not all the jurors agreed. It was a compromise. I don't think he's going to say which juror didn't agree. I don't really think that that would be appropriate. But anyways, what were your thoughts when you were initially called for jury duty? Awful, LOL. I served once before when I lived in California, but that was only a 2-day trial. Yeah, jury duty is the worst, guys, isn't it? I mean, what a pain in the butt. Let's see. I don't know if there's anything else that this person replied to. That is so funny. Need to know, did anyone else think she was taking bumps on the stand in her chair? Appears so, but just me. He says, I don't think anyone thought anything of it. Okay, let's see if there's anything else he responded to. Yeah, I hope she gets the help she needs. Yeah, I think we all hope that she gets the help she needs. I mean, good God. She needs a lot of help, in my opinion. I don't see any other responses here from this guy. So, I don't, you know, it is what it is. We don't know for sure if this actually is one of the jurors speaking out, but it seems like it is. I mean, it doesn't seem to be fake. You know, I guess you can never be 100% sure. If this person went on camera, I would be able to identify him and say, yes, I recognize that person from the jury, but I can understand why they would want to remain anonymous. In fact, I think that somebody did dox them on the Chans, like somehow took pictures and doxed these people, which is just absolutely ridiculous. That is so rude and so uncalled for. And quite frankly, it's dangerous. There are crazy people out there, you know? It's just, you never know. You know? Better to be safe than sorry, I guess. All right, I don't really see any more replies here. If anybody else wants to take the time to go through it, I will put the links in the video description, and you guys can decide if you think this is real or not. We really don't know, you know, but it just, you know, it doesn't seem overdone or something like that, you know. And we can go back and listen to the video again and see if the voices match up. But I think that that's it. I don't see any other questions being asked or answered. Okay, so yeah. Let me know what you guys think of this. You know, do you think that this is, you know, legit? Do you think that this is, a real juror? You know, let me know. And if anybody, you know, has any other information from this person, if they put anything else out and I'm missing it, please let me know that also. I just thought that was very interesting because you kind of wonder, like, oh, is the jury seeing the same stuff I'm seeing? You know, are they somehow gonna get it? And it's basically like, yeah, you know, they do. And this was one of the comments I read earlier. I don't have the time to go through it now, but you guys can go through all of his responses. He did say that Amber reminded him of his ex and how she used to gaslight. And he said, I trusted my gut. That is very, very interesting because I knew that the jury was 6 men and 3 women. And my thinking was, this can either go one of two ways, right? Like either these guys are going to feel the need to sort of like white knight for her, or they have had experience with crazy women also, and they're going to get it. Like they're going to pick up on the little things that she's doing, and they're going to go, oh, I knew somebody like that. You know, I think everybody's known somebody. Maybe not as crazy as Amber, but everyone's known somebody who is like that, who displays sort of, you know, narcissistic qualities that can lack empathy and expect this sort of special treatment, looks down on everybody, refuses to take, you know, any responsibility for anything that they have done. And it was interesting that this juror, if this is legit, noticed that she just refused to say that she ever did anything wrong in the relationship, which, you know, nobody's perfect. Like there has to be something that you can admit that you did that was wrong. And she was just like, no. And she basically said, don't believe the police officers. Don't believe all of these witnesses, 10 different people at the least, maybe more, you know, only listen to me. Her own friends contradicted her stories. You know, the guy, Morgan Knight, the guy who owned the trailers at Hicksville, she told a totally different story than him. She claimed that he was devastated when he saw the state of the trailers and this and that. And he said a very different story than her. And her own friend Rocky, you know, she claimed that that Johnny told Kelly Sue like he would break her arm or something, or like, do you know how much pressure it takes to break an arm, and like grabbed her and said, you know, that's my woman or something like that. Yeah, her own friend said that that didn't happen. It's like, come on, you know, her own friends. So you only believe her, don't believe your eyes. Don't believe what you're seeing in the evidence that was presented, right? Where she claims she had 2 black eyes, a broken nose, a busted lip, and you look at a picture of her the next day and there's literally no marks on her face, but you're supposed to believe her instead of your own eyes. That, I think, is what made her so unbelievable and destroyed her credibility. And then the sort of over the top acting and exaggeration on the stand. If you go back and watch her deposition from 2016, in her deposition, when she's recounting her, you know, or telling these stories of what she claimed was abuse. And of course, mind you, the stories change over time. They become more embellished. There are more stories, more allegations added. But if you go back and watch that when she's talking about it, she's not crying. She's not having like panic attacks. You know, she's smirking almost as she's telling the stories. It's so it's like almost like you're watching a different person. And I actually think it's worth taking the time to sort of go back and show people just how crazy this woman is. And you can see the same things in interviews of her. It's like she's a different person each time. Like she's constantly reinventing herself. And she constantly does this sort of impressionistic and vague speech that Dr. Curry talked about, where she'll go on and on and on, ramble on and on, but there's nothing of substance being said. She's using flowery language. She's saying weird, vague things, but you end up like you don't take anything from it. There's nothing you can comprehend or understand because it doesn't mean anything. It's like word salad stuff to try to confuse and gaslight people. She's notorious for that. So I encourage people, go back and watch interviews of her from 2008, 2010, 2012, and just watch how she changes each time. And it really is scary. It's like a chameleon or something. Like you're watching somebody that doesn't have a sense of self, that doesn't have an identity, and is constantly changing, constantly adopting a different persona for each situation, I suppose. But there are times even then where you can see the sort of mask fall and you recognize that like this person is sociopathic. This is an absolute psychopath that we are dealing with. There's no empathy there. She looks dead behind the eyes. So it's just really creepy. Anyways, I'm really interested to hear everybody's thoughts on this. Do you think that this is legitimate? Is this a real juror speaking out? Or do you think this is just somebody pulling a hoax on us? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you hit the like button. For some reason the algorithms are suppressing these videos. The media and I guess the big tech don't want people talking about this. They don't want people who disagree with Amber being able to have a voice. So it really does make a difference if you hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to share this video.